me tell you why I'm here. I'm here because I love learning. I love the Harkness discussion and debate style learning. I can prove this personally because in my classroom of AP World History, there's always a challenge to scramble facts. But this type of learning only made me get up close and personal with the material and made me an even better historian than I already am. These debates benefit the educated in so many ways that I'll get to later. This will be a couple more minutes, so enjoy the ride that is my creative educational learning experience. Like our predecessors of ancient Rome, we had many debates between the crowds of people that were, of course, AP rule students. This allowed us to have ideas that would literally fly left and right. And with that, we tried to grab one of these ideas and dissect it into as many pieces, tiny pieces that we could. Yes, it's true sometimes we would say the same thing with different words, or we would just end up agreeing with the thesis that was already stated. But sometimes you have to stay in one place to make any kind of progress. And talk about progress. We went from students to freelance historians trying to set the record straight in one class period. This made the boring material in the large AP World Book seem amazing. And after the debate, we would know this material so well we could prove internet sources wrong ourselves. So who really signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776? Name as many people as you can. Most of you will be wrong because only two people signed the Declaration of Independence that day, John Hancock and Charles Thomson. This seems like a useless bit of information, but now you know. There really aren't any useless bits of history. It's all just relative. What may seem useless to you may be very useful for me. Signing dates of the Declaration of Independence is the perfect example. In other words, if you use the signing of the Declaration of Independence for an estimate of, say, Thomas Jefferson's or John Adams' political stance on a certain day between July 4th and a month after, you would be incorrect. The only time you would be correct would be the month after, where all the signees signed. Have you ever felt like there was just a word you know, this word exists, and you knew this word to describe a situation, but you don't really know the word? Yeah, kind of like on the tip of your tongue. Yeah, this is how the whole AP class felt. There were words we knew had to exist to describe a certain situation in history, but we just didn't know what they were. Like, take for example, a poor person working their way into the government and becoming rich through a meritocracy. How do you explain that due to their background, it was highly unlikely that would happen? Oh, that's right, because of their socioeconomic background. There's the word. It took us forever to figure that out, and believe me, it was amazing once we did. Now, let's dig into some facts of the classroom. From class to class, the structure of the room will change. That's just a given. Does the shape of the classroom affect type of learning? Yes, it does. It lets the usual center of attention, the teacher, disappear. Usually all we see is the back of people's head, but now we are all looking at each other, and we clearly get to see the person speaking and each other, providing a healthier debate style of learning. We can link this to history because, of course, one of the reasons the Roman Senate was built the way it was to promote an easier and healthier debate environment. A quote from a philosopher will explain why school systems have repeated their history of bad learning experiences over a multitude of years. Those who do not study history are doomed to repeat it. Now going a little off the path, there's a specific Harkness discussion that we had on just war theory during World War II. I don't know what it was about this discussion. Maybe it was just the fact that it was one of our firsts, but this discussion really resonated well with me. There were several great flowing points within the discussion. Ultimately, the goal of the Harkness discussion was reached. Everyone had spoken and contributed something towards our discussion. Not everyone participated equally, however, but there's always room for improvement. And we also uncovered new ideas of both World War I and II. So overall, great things were achieved that are worthy of the AP label. So what is the moral of this? What is the moral at the end of this story? History is amazing? That's right, but no. I want to bring it back. Say that debates are debates, but when you bring these things into the classroom, how the debate is structured and who runs the debate can make or break good learning experiences with up close and personal facts. Creative and collaborative learning experiences are always going to help the students learn material easier. They now want to learn the material and want to know all the facts. The way these debate style learning experiences happen, we couldn't have asked